What is up? Thank you for coming back for another edition of the Horror Debate. We've been gone for a little while, getting a little rest, taking a little break. We're back, and we're going to be having a whole slew of new flicks for you people. I am Jeff Rowdy Jake here. He is Michael Mandy, and we are live.
And this week we are debating from 2010, A Horrible Way to Die, directed by Adam Wingard.
Yes.
Starring Amy Siemens.
Seaman?
Our Cements?
What?
Simons?
This is a family show, Mike.
Yeah, I know. And A.J. Bowen.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. We don't know these people.
No, but A.J. looks like Zach Galifianakis.
He does. That's what I said during the movie, didn't I?
When he showed up, hey, what the hell is Zach doing in
He's
here?
in the prison cell, stripping down, and I said, Zach!
Yeah.
Not my son, but Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he moved his Zach.
Yeah, he moved his Zach. That's right. and request from the guard, to move his Zach. Yeah, I gotcha. Well, anyway, Mike, plot us, dude.
The plot of this film...
And it took a long time to get to it, didn't it?
It takes about an hour for you to finally care what's going on.
Well, no, it takes you an hour to figure out what the heck's going on because there's so many, flashbacks, flash forwards.
Flash sideways.
And we get that from Funny Farm, but yes, that's a great line. Flash sideways. I mean, there's so much movement around that you lose track of what's happening when.
And
it's not a cohesive story from beginning to end.
I've got a feeling that Adam watched Pulp Fiction and said, "Oh, I can do that." See, but the problem is the reason.
Not really.
Yeah. Well, the reason why Pulp Fiction worked is because number one, the dialogue in Pulp Fiction, you followed the dialogue.
Right.
And second, you had actors with so much charisma on screen that you could watch them walk. Just by watching. Well, you can do about it.
Well, Travolta was in it, right?
Yes, he was. Just by watching.
You could just watch him walk. And that's why I was singing that, because, that's it. Well, these actors,
and Samuel Jackson. Just
let me just say this.
Walk down
Hold
the
on
hallway,
a second.
you cared.
Let me just say this. The actors in this movie were not bad.
No,
okay?
they were all right.
The plot was not bad. The problem was in the way it was directed and the way it was edited.
And camera, Phil, I swear to God, the cameraman was drunk the whole time.
But plot us before we get into this.
The plot of the movie, which I guess it should be a spoiler warning because you don't know what the plot of the movie is until the movie's almost over.
Yeah, well.
Because isn't that part of the surprise twist ending?
Yeah.
So, spoiler warning.
No. We can do it without spoiling it.
Okay.
We can do it. Go ahead, Mikey. Give it a go.
You're making me do it because you can't.
I can do it.
You can do it?
I can't do it, but you're doing it.
You don't want to do it.
It gives me a headache.
Okay, Amy. This cute girl. She's in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and she's talking about she can't drink anymore. Well, you find out through the movie that because she had a boyfriend who was a killer, abusive and a killer and a weirdo guy,
right?
And he's in jail.
Right.
Meanwhile, at the same time, he's broken out of jail and he's killing people to take their cars and to move closer to find her.
He screwed a cop.
Literally. Well, we didn't really see it. It was in a flash.
It was inferred.
Yeah. He found a screw on the bottom of the van that's taking...
The transportation van to the jail.
Yeah, they're transferring him to the prison or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sees a screw on the floor.
And he screws the cop.
Well, the next scene shows him running.
Right. But then you see the cop.
No, not the next scene shows him running. Actually, it showed him running 40 minutes before you saw the screw on the floor.
That's right.
See, this is what we're getting at.
This is what we have a problem with. And not that we're not intelligent enough to figure it out, but it's like, wow, did this happen before or did this... While you're watching the film, you shouldn't have to sit there and try to put the pieces together as to when in the timeline this is actually going down.
Because Zach Galifianakis has a beard when you first see him.
What is the actor's name, Mike? Come on.
A.J. Bowen.
Okay, good.
He's got a Zach beard on.
He looks just like... He looks like... If the guy who played Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, if he and Zach had a kid, this would be A.J. Bowen.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Mark Ruffalo or Ruffalo, however you want to, Ruffles potato chip.
Ruffles.
Uh,
Yeah, you tried those new Ruffles?
No,
The
which one?
extreme, the real thick ones?
No.
Oh, they're good.
Awesome.
You got to go check them out.
Those pizza flavored ones are nasty. I'm
No, these
sorry.
aren't pizza. These are like extreme barbecue flavor. They got
that'd
like,
be cool.
oh, they got like these, but they're super thick.
Awesome.
They're really good. I just
Check
had to
them.
bring, I'm a
Brought-
food guy.
Brought to
What
you
can I
by-
tell you?
This episode of Horror Debate brought to you by Ruffles potato chips.
That's right. That's
Brought to
right.
you by
Pay
Carl's.
us.
Yeah, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Idiocracy, my favorite movie, scariest movie of the decade.
Yeah,
it's happening.
And it is coming true.
Okay, so A.J. Bowen has a beard and a mustache in this, but then he goes to a truck stop and shaves it off. And then the next scene, this girl's crying at Alcohol Anonymous. And then the next scene, there he is, Mark Ruffalo, Zach A.J. Bowen, is with her in bed, and he's got a beard, and you're going, whoa.
Yeah, well,
and
hey,
then
that grew back quick.
Yeah, and then the cameraman is focusing on Christmas lights, zooming in and out and zooming in.
Oh, that was
and,
it. Made
and
me
then
it made me
he
want
foc-
to puke. I'm sitting there eating popcorn, and this camera's going on. I mean, Mike, I
Every
know
5
wait a
minutes,
minute.
the camera blurs
I know
out of
I
focus.
made fun of you in saying, like in one of our previous debates, actually several of our previous debates, when you would complain about the shaky camera. I'd be like, grow some nuts, Mike. But in this movie, I totally see your point, because there's like no action going on.
Yeah.
There's a conversation, a quiet conversation going on in a bedroom, and the camera is all over the place.
And not only shaking camera, but he's focusing.
He's zooming in and out and
He's
and
focusing
yeah.
on a Volvo in the parking lot behind them.
He's like, nice car, man.
Yeah, whoa, what's his? Yeah, oh my goodness, here's something going. I'd like a cup of black coffee, please. And the camera's whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
God, that was bad. There was no reason
You know
for
what?
that.
The name of this movie should be called A Horrible Way to Direct.
Or a horrible way to edit.
Oh,
One way or the other.
both ways.
But we're not saying that everything sucked, and that's what I want to make clear, is that I thought the acting was actually pretty solid, considering we haven't heard of a lot of these folks, and also the fact that the plot in itself was actually pretty well done. The problem is in the actual execution. You feel like you're just so all over the road that I began not to care.
Yeah.
And I think Mike began not to care about 10 minutes into the movie.
Oh, 10 minutes into the movie, I'm going, wait a second. He was driving off and he's got no beard. Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
Wait a second. There's a blonde chick dead in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Now she's drilling someone's teeth. What the hell?
Yeah.
Is that the same girl?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
know.
think so.
was confused as to who was who for a little while, because
Yeah.
the two girls actually did look a little bit
And
similar.
wait a second. Now he's driving with a blonde chick in the car. Oh, that's the dead chick in the hotel room. Oh, wait, no. She's got her head smashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But notice none of these you actually see. There's only one killing you actually see. That's the dude at the bar.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's called A Horrible Way to Die. Which character died in a horrible way?
Yeah. Yeah. We
Well,
did.
Yeah.
Our interest did.
Okay, devil's advocate. Every way to die is a horrible way to die. Okay, yeah, I see your point. I expected this to be like Hostel, which was like a
Yes.
guy screaming while he's
Well,
getting like a
Mike, to be
nail
fair-
pounded into his toe.
To be fair, the cover makes it look like you've got the chick hanging upside down. I'm looking at the Blu-ray right now. You got the chick hanging upside down. A horrible way to die with the words "horrible" and "die" in big bold letters.
Underlined.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, so this is going to be a torture flick.
Like Saw or Hostel. Remember Hostel 2?
Yeah.
When the girl was naked and she got her throat slit because the ugly old lady wanted to bathe in her blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just say this, too. I want to know what they're smoking over at this Dread Central place. I'm looking at the cover, and it says, "What an incredible film from Dread Central." What did you watch?
Maybe they were out of focus when they watched this movie, so it was in
Yeah,
focus.
horror on its most realistic level? Really? Have you guys seen Chaos? Seriously, I mean, that's horror on a realistic level.
Well, on a brutal level.
On a brutal level.
I don't know. Maybe they called it realistic because it was slow and boring.
This guy says it's atmospheric, haunting, and subversive. That's from twitchfilm.com.
You know what was haunting about this movie? That voice you heard going, "Oh."
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah. And that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
I had to listen to him like he had an ingrown toenail for an hour and a half. I mean,
We got 30 more minutes.
can I just say this? The point of doing entertainment movies is the entertainment. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct? Even with horror movies, I know everybody has to be all artsy and serious nowadays and shaky camera and, oh, it's a fly on the wall kind of thing and, trying to make it real serious.
Buy a tripod.
But can I just say that the point of all of this is to be entertained and taken out of your doldrum day and brought into a different world so you can experience something entertaining? I'm looking at this like I wasn't entertained at all.
I was bored out of my skull.
I mean, yeah.
Confused until about the 35-minute mark when I just had a flash. I went, here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Well, remember, I called the ending.
Yep.
I called the ending. I even high-fived Mikey. I was so excited I got it right. I said, man, you know what? I see this coming, and bam, there it was.
Coming, yeah.
So, we're not saying it's a complete failure, but what we're saying is I just didn't enjoy it. Mike didn't enjoy it. It very slow. I think everybody's going to be very, very bored through this thing. Like I said, props to the actors, props to the plot. I'm not digging the way it was put together. I'm not digging
the way it was filmed.
The editing, the entertainment value, in my opinion, in this movie is very, very low.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just to knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
to wrap it up and...
Yeah, when directing movies, when you have the same actors, but you're showing them, like, from the past or whatever, you have to do something to let your audience know which is the flashback and which is the present tense. Like maybe a sepia tone.
Right.
A different color.
Right.
Or, if it's a far flashback, okay, change it close.
I mentioned to Mike during the film, I said, look, they need to label what's a flashback and what's a flash forward and what's the present time. And, I mean, I have no idea. It's driving me crazy here.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't have to guess. You're there to watch a film and to be told a story, and you shouldn't have to guess into where this all fits in the timeline. Yeah. It was very, very difficult to discern.
A simple way would have been to have the Zach Galifianakis guy have the past all be him in a beard and the present have him all be clean shaven.
Yeah.
That would have been a clue.
Yes.
But instead, he's both in both.
Yeah. Well, he did shave a little bit, like you said. He shaved the sides off, but he still had the porn star mustache going on. But it was still very, very confusing, and I just don't like that. I don't want to have to work in my movie.
Yeah.
Just like I don't like to read my movies, I don't want to have to work and try to figure out what this director is trying to tell me. Yeah. So, my opinion, I'm giving it 1 star.
I think the final 5 minutes saved it from a bomb for me.
Yeah.
I'll give it 1. I was all set to bomb this all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Amy took her shirt off.
That wasn't that big of a deal,
though.
No,
it was not. But at least give props to the girl for doing her best.
Didn't the boyfriend guy, look like Dexter? I mean, I know you don't watch Dexter, but I kept going, Dex.
Joe Swanberg.
He's
great. It's great.
It's great, yeah.
Everything's great.
Great.
Well, that's really great.
Yeah.
Can we go out to dinner? That would
be
great.
Mike.
Great.
I don't know.
This movie was not great.
I picked this up at Best Buy for $9.99.
Blu-ray.
And
wow.
And sometimes you wonder when you're watching these things, as Mike brought up during the viewing, why did they put this on Blu-ray? It was shot in such a way that the extra resolution made no difference.
Because it was blurry half the time anyway.
I mean, they were out of focus on the lights and moving the camera all over the place.
And even the scene in her apartment, she had these little Christmas lights all over. It's like he superimposed Christmas lights in front. Yeah. You even said, what's with the lens flares? And I said, they're not lens flares.
Yeah.
I think they're Christmas lights they dangled in front of the camera.
Yeah. He probably did it for some sort of artsy effect,
thing.
But just, come on, man. Yeah. Tell the story. Tell it to where it's discernible and people can digest it easily.
If you have an engaging story and engaging characters, you don't need artsy-fartsy stuff.
That's right. It becomes, this movie was a little bit just too much. It was just too much work while you're viewing the flick. So that's it, 1 star.
Yeah, 1 star. I'm Michael Manny, he's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.